today we'll start with the lecture again. But before we start, I just want to say one thing. Listen, please do not interrupt me during the session. Okay, do not interrupt me during the session. It causes a lot of chaos. Okay, whatever doubts you have, I will take it towards the end. I will repeat myself twice and I will repeat myself in Hindi and English both. Okay, I will teach you in Hindi and English both because there are students who do not understand Hindi here, right? How many of you do not understand Hindi at all? Abhi, matlab, for the time being, how many of them are there? You can just raise your hand. If anybody does not understand a word of Hindi also. Nobody until now. So fine. So then we'll do that thing. And then one more thing I have, that I've made a PPT for you all. Okay. So whatever dictations you require, that you can take from the PPT itself. Okay. You do not have to like ask me for the dictation. It takes a lot of time. It becomes a little bit time consuming. What I intend to do is solve all your doubts. Okay. कॉन्सेप्ट क्लैरिटी मैं दे दूंगा, बाकी डिक्टेशन जो है आपको पीपीटी में मिल जाएगा. ओके, एंड यू विल गेट द पीपीटी आल्सो. सो इट इज नॉट लाइक कि यू हैव टू टेक द स्क्रीनशॉट राइट नाउ. डू नॉट वरी अबाउट दैट. यू विल गेट द पीपीटी. It will be uploaded in the LMS portal. Okay, this sounds like a decent idea for everyone.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, so we'll just wait for a few more minutes and then we'll start. Amog has a question or he has raised his hand. Okay.
So by mistake.
No worries. We'll wait for 2-3 more minutes and then we'll start. Okay. New being taught. Actually, what I intend to do is cover everything which we did yesterday. In addition to that, we can start with something new also. Okay. If the time permits. Why so? Why what? Why repeat or why tell you something new? The last session repeat because nobody understood anything yesterday, right? Most of you at least. The voice was not clear.
Sir, you got.
I know. My intern muted me actually. I'll file a complaint against her. I'm kidding. I won't. Don't worry, okay? I won't. No, sir, it is manageable. We can proceed with me. This we can't do actually today. Now we had, like, I have strict orders from above that we have to revise everything. Don't worry, it will be fun. Okay? ऐसे कल से अच्छा पढ़ाऊंगा थोड़ा सा. Because yesterday there were so many interruptions. I got really, I mean, I tried, but it happens with technology. Na? You do not understand what to do with it, and then you end up repeating yourself all the time. 1 more minute, we'll wait. Then we'll start. Okay. हाँ, but then मेरे साथ कल actually what happened was I bought a new camera and which is why the video was probably more clear yesterday. But then what happens is that in the camera there's a mic which I wasn't aware of. So because of that there was this technical glitch and nobody could understand why. So I've removed the camera today. This also looks decent only, I believe. A little bit cluttered, but okay. Should we start then? Everybody can see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what have you understood about agreements? What is an agreement? What are the essentials of an agreement? What is an agreement essentially? It is a promise, right? And what are the essentials of a promise? There is an offer and acceptance, right? So These are the two things which have been defined in the definition of agreement itself. Okay. But apart from these two terms, apart from offer and acceptance, there are two additional things. There are two additional things which were added by judicial precedents. Okay. This was something which was introduced by the judges. Okay, precedents लिख देते हैं यहाँ पे. Okay, this is something which was introduced by the judges. That see, in addition to offer and acceptance, there are two more conditions which have to be satisfied, and these were first animus contrahendi. Okay, animus contrahendi, which means you should have an intention to enter into a legal relationship. Okay, legal relationship. I will take a simple example. Let's say your father is there. He tells you, son, if you do not drink in school, okay, if you do not drink in school, then I'll get you a bike. Okay, now this could be something which is absolutely casual, right? Something which is related to domestic affairs also. आपके घर पे रोज ऐसी बातें होती रहती होंगी. These are certain things which are being discussed at home every day, that if you'll top the class, if so and so thing will happen, then I'll get you a Pulsar bike. I mean, this was the thing back in our day. Pulsar was the like bike in vogue. Okay, so if a father promises his son that, see, I want you to pass or top in your lectures or top in your classes, get through judicial services, so on and so forth. Anything could be the offer. And I will give you 50,000 rupees. So here, your father is offering you 50,000 rupees, or he's offering you a bike. Okay, or he's offering you a bike. What happens here is we have to see whether he had a legal intention, whether he had an intention to enter into an agreement with you. Okay, so what you can do is you can tell him slyly that, Papa, write this thing down. Okay, लिख के दो. I will get this thing attested. Okay, give me this thing in writing. Let us get this thing registered, and then we will enter into a legal relationship. Okay, so there should be an intention to enter into a legal relationship. If there is no such legal intention, we do not say that there was a valid agreement. Okay, so the third thing which is important is that there should be an animus contrahendi. Okay, intention to enter into a legal relationship. And the last thing which is very important is that of consideration. Okay, this has been given in section 25, where they say that an agreement without consideration is void. So the fourth important condition is that of consideration. Okay, so everybody has understood what are the essential elements of agreement. Okay, offer, acceptance, animus contrahendi, and consideration. Okay, these two things, all these things we are going to discuss in detail. Okay, so today we'll start with offer. Okay, now let's just discuss the definition of offer. Okay, definition of offer. Section 2A of the Indian Contract Act. Okay, whenever you'll write your answer, remember you write the entire thing. Section 2A, Indian Contract Act 1872. Okay, very good. Okay, whenever you'll write your answer. Okay, so what is an offer? See, it says that when one person signifies to another his willingness to do or abstain from doing anything with a view to obtain the assent of that other to such act or abstinence, he is said to have made a proposal. So if you have to understand it simply, it means that I am proposing. Okay, there is one person who makes a proposal to another. Okay, one person to another. He tells him that, see, this is what I want to do, or this is something which I do not want to do for you. Okay, and whenever he says that this is what I want to do, that particular thing is known as a proposal, that I propose to do a particular act for you. Okay, have you understood? Okay, so let's understand the first thing, which is first essential. Okay, just give me a moment. See, the first thing or the first essential is that there should be two parties. Okay, there should be two parties. The first party is known as the proposer or the offerer. Okay, but in ICA, in Indian Contract Act, we call him the proposer. Okay, there is one person who's going to propose you to do a particular act. This person is known as a proposer, and the second person who is going to accept it is known as the acceptor. Okay, so let's say, if a simple example, okay, in school, high school, people often used to go out and ask for friendship or anything, whatever you may call it. And they will say that there's this person X, he goes to this girl, he tells her that I like you, right? So what is he doing here? He is making a proposal, right? Why? Because see, there's this one person who is making it to the other, okay? And he is making a particular statement. Okay, what has he made here? He has made a proposal. Okay, understood? Now, this proposal could have been made to one person, okay, one particular person, okay, or more than one people, okay, or more than one people, or several people also, okay. But whenever we say that one or several people are there, first thing is they should be ascertained, okay, definite in nature, okay, ascertained. That is something which can be defined, okay. Either these people can be defined, okay. For example, let's say I make an offer to Megha that Megha, I want to teach you Indian Contract Act, okay. Vishwa sir tells Megha that I want to teach you ICA. So what is this? This is an offer made to one person, okay. This is an offer made to one person, or there could be several people here in LawSikho itself, okay, here in LawSikho itself, okay. But whenever you see, like, see, in our class only, let's say there are 100 students, 106 students, or 130 students also for that matter, okay. So if I tell all these 130 students that, see students, I want to teach you Indian Contract Act. So what am I making it? I am making an offer to a specified group of people, okay. I am making an offer to a specified group of people within a particular domain, which is LawSikho, right? तो जितने ही बच्चे यहाँ पे, all the students who are here, they are ascertainable in nature, right? So whenever I'm making an offer, it could be either to one person or to several person who are ascertained. Number one, okay. This would be known as a specific offer, and this is something we'll discuss later on also, okay. Specific offer, or it could be something which is made to public at large, okay. Now in the second case, what happens is the acceptor is someone who is not known, okay, at the time of making the proposal, okay, which means that the acceptor is somebody who is unascertainable, okay, unascertainable in nature. For example, we often hear na that, see, जो भी ये cream लगाएगा, whoever uses this cream, he will become fair and lovely, right? So what is here? What is happening here? We are making an offer to everybody at large, the public at large, okay. And there's not just one person, but there could be multiple people who are not ascertainable in nature, okay, who are not been defined, who have not been defined, okay. So this offer is known as a general offer, okay. So general offer. So whenever we use the word another, what does it mean? That it could be for people who are ascertainable in nature, right? Ascertainable. Okay, देख सकते हो आप कौन कौन है. You can calculate who all are there. Okay, you can figure out who all are there, right? Like in our case only, we can figure out how many students are there, right? Everybody knows this fact. How many students are there? We all know, right? Similarly, we can also figure out, if we are unable to figure out, okay, how many students are there, then in that case also we can make an offer to that another also, okay. Another means somebody who is ascertainable in nature and somebody who is unascertainable in nature, okay. Understood? So the first thing is there should be two parties. All this we have discussed. Yes, we will be discussing it today again. I will repeat myself for those who are just joining in. This is something which we are repeating from the previous class, and we will continue also if the time allows us, permits us, which I believe it should, okay, if there are no interruptions, okay. Understood? So the first condition is that there should be two parties. The first one is the offerer or the proposer, and the second one is the offeree or the acceptor, okay. Now the second condition is that this person should be signifying his willingness. This means that I have to communicate, okay. I have to communicate my offer to the other person, okay. Communicate my offer to the other person, okay. Again, in my previous example only, I can do this by words, okay. I have to communicate. For example, if I had a crush on my high school friend, I would just go and tell her, see, I really like you. Can we be friends? Okay. So what is Vishwas sir doing here? He is making a proposal. Okay. And what have I done? I have communicated my proposal also. Okay. Have you understood? This is the first example. Now let's take another situation. Okay. Another situation that we have all seen DDLJ or heard of it at least. Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge and all. Okay. So what happens in that case is, let's say there is this person, what was his name? Raj, right? And the girl's name is Simran. Okay. So what happens here is, Raj says, let's see, if Simran turns, okay, if Simran turns, this means that she likes me. Okay. So what has he done? He has made this turn to be a proposal. Okay. Let's say that in this case, okay, let's say in this case, it is this turn which would be known as a proposal, that this woman, if she turns back and looks at me, this means that she has proposed me. Okay, understood? Simran in turn does turn. Okay, she does this thing palto and oh, I'm so, वो पलट जाती है, ठीक है, वो पलट जाती है. Okay, so what happens here is, through her conduct, she has proposed the other person. Okay, and yes, it could be acceptance also, depending on the situation. Okay, but what has happened here? Okay, understood? What happened here was, see, Raj made a proposal. Okay, कि अगर ये लड़की पलट के मुझे देखेगी तो ये मुझसे प्यार करती है. Okay, if she turns back, then she loves me. Simran knows this fact. Simran is privy to this fact that if I turn, this means that I like Raj, and Raj will be very happy, and we will sing तुझे देखा तो ये जाना सनम. Okay, so what happens here is, Raj made a proposal, Simran in turn did turn back. Okay, so what is this? This is acceptance, right? But what happened here is, you have to understand, yes, willingness, this we will be discussing. Willingness can be expressed or implied. Yes, it can be. We will be discussing this later on. अभी आप बस इस example पे stuck करो, ठीक है? यहाँ पे समझो. यहाँ पे हुआ क्या? You have communicated and the acceptor has in turn done something after being communicated about the offer. Okay, everybody has understood this point? Now let's take, there's another situation. What happened was, Raj did not tell Simran anything to turn back. Okay, or even if Raj just murmured to his friend, okay, that see, if Simran does turn back, this means that she loves me. Okay, but this is something which has not been communicated to Simran. Okay, the willingness, okay, the signifiance has not been done to Simran. Okay, so what happens here is, पीछे से बाबूजी बुला लेता है. Her father calls her. Okay, instead of Raj, her father calls her. Okay, Simran's father calls her, Simran, come here, type का. ठीक है, जो भी. This is something which we are concluding, by the way. Movie is coming to an end, so let's not get into that. But see, focusing here, what happens here is, Simran turns back. Simran turns back, but on the call of her father and not on the signifiance or the communication of the offer of Raj. So this is something. The act of Simran here was something which is independent in nature. Okay, independent in nature, and therefore, what is this? This is not acceptance. Okay, or this proposal has not been communicated. Okay, the signifiance was not completed. Everybody has understood this example? Very simple. Whatever I have dictated is here. Okay. Another case. Okay. This case we have already discussed yesterday. Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt. What happened here was, see, first read this down. Read this thing. It was held in this case that the proposal should be communicated to the acceptor in order to form a valid proposal. Right? Everybody has understood the point? How it has to be communicated to the acceptor. Okay, the proposal has to be communicated to the acceptor in order to form a valid proposal, and the acceptor should have acted in furtherance of that proposal. Okay, an independent act per se does not constitute a valid acceptance. What was the independent act there? She turned as he voluntarily, right? She did not know that Raj was there. Okay, she did this on her own free will. Okay, she did not know that Raj is going to think about this whole thing. He's so delusional that he'll think that, oh my God, Simran is in love. Nothing like that is happening. Okay. Sir, what is the significance of independent person in DDL? I think you must have understood, Ayushman, by now. That act of Simran was something which was independent and not after the communication of Rajesh offer. Okay. लालमन शुक्ला का हम लोगों ने केस डिस्कस कर ही रखा है. We have already discussed this yesterday, but I will discuss this again today. What happened here was there was this person X. He had his nephew who got lost. Okay. So what X did was X told his servant that please go find my nephew. Okay. So see, what is this act? This is something which is independent. I want to tell you firstly only. Okay. This is an independent act. Okay. He told him that see, what you have to do is find my nephew. This is something which servant is doing in his personal capacity as an agent of X, right? नौकर है ना X का S, तो उस capacity पे he is acting as an agent of X. Okay. Simultaneously, what happened was X also made a proclamation stating that whoever will find my nephew. Okay, proclamation that whoever will find my nephew will get a sum of rupees 501 rupees. Now, this proclamation was something which was not communicated to the servant. Okay, this proclamation was not communicated to the servant, and servant obviously did find the nephew. Okay, later on, servant asked for money. Okay, so this is what the court said, that see, it is very important for us to understand that the proposal should have been communicated to the acceptor, and the acceptor should have done in furtherance of that proposal. Okay, an independent act per se does not constitute a valid acceptance. Okay, an independent act per se does not constitute a valid acceptance. Everybody has understood this point? Pretty clear or okay clear? तेज तो नहीं जा रहा हूं मैं? You like these examples? No, आयुष्मान, मतलब समझ नहीं आया, तेज जा रहा हूं नहीं जा रहा हूं? Okay. ग्लेशियर क्लियर, चलो बहुत बढ़िया. चलो ठीक है, ये स्पीड ठीक है ना सब बच्चों के लिए? See, third thing is that there should be an act to do or abstain from doing. To do or abstain from doing. This means that I will say that I am going to do a positive act. Okay. Okay, sir, let's say in my case only, I make a positive act towards you that see, Ayushman, I want to teach you Indian Contract Act. Okay. He says, okay, sir. So what is this? It is an offer. It is a positive. अरे मेरे पास तो बहुत छिछोरे examples है, चिंता मत करो. मतलब not that छिछोरा also, but like funny examples. Okay. So don't worry. I have this way of teaching. Okay. So see, first one is that it should be a positive offer. What is a positive offer? I have told you that see, I want to teach you Indian Contract Act. So this is the first situation. Okay. The second situation is I will say that I want to do a negative act. Okay. What happens is Ayushman gets so pissed with me, he never wants to study Indian Contract Act from me. Okay, so I tell him, see, Ayushman, what I will do is, I do not want to teach you ICA. Okay, I do not want to teach you ICA if you offer me a particular sum, remission or whatever, right? So what is this? This is something where I'm abstaining myself from doing something. Okay, where I am abstaining myself from doing something by doing a negative act. Okay, let's say in our case only, your parents tell you, beta, don't do drugs. Okay, don't drink alcohol when you go to college. अब तो बच्चे चले गए कॉलेज, पापा ने बोला तो होगा मत पीना, है ना? Don't drink alcohol. This is what? This is a negative act. Positive act could be, beta, study, clear your exam, become a judge, right? So what are these things? These are positive acts. Understood? Everybody has understood. Third essential is it should be for doing or abstaining from doing something. Okay. Fourth ingredient is, one second, with a view to obtain his assent. Okay, whatever I have communicated, whatever proposal I have communicated, it should be with a view. I have this intention. Okay, I have this intention that I want to obtain the assent of the other party. I want to receive the yes, or I want her to agree. Okay, I want Simran to agree to this particular act. Okay, so here my entire act, okay, my entire proposal was for obtaining the assent of the other person. Okay, now remember, yesterday somebody was asking me, sir, what is the difference between assent and consent? So assent is something which is in the nature of an agreement. Okay, agreement. Okay, where we both agree to do a particular act. Consent is more of a technical term which is related to permission. Okay, consent is related to permission. But ऐसा कोई बहुत major difference नहीं है इन दोनों में, है ना? बस English मतलब it's something related to English. There's not a major difference in both these things. Everybody has understood? So what are the 4 essential ingredients of a contract? Now who will tell me? Sorry, of an offer. Who is going to tell me? First is 2 parties. Assent is taken, consent is given. Yes. है ना? Consent is given by the other person. Okay. First is 2 parties. Second is, what is the second essential? Tell me. Willingness.
Signifies his willingness.
Willingness to communicate. Okay. Signifies his willingness to communicate. Third is to do or abstain
Or
from
abstain from doing something.
Okay. To do or abstain. बच्चों 99 बच्चों हो तुम यहाँ. There are 99 students, 98, 99. I want everyone to tell me. Okay, this should be filled with it. Okay, I am repeating everything so that it is embedded in your head. And the last one is with the view to obtaining the assent.
Assent.
So see, these are the things which are there, which are already there. Okay, which are already there given in the definition of the offer. Everybody has understood? Okay, these are certain things which are already there in the term offer. But in addition to these things, there are other conditions also. There are certain other conditions which are to be satisfied. Okay, मतलब के जो definition में दिया है वो तो ठीक है. Whatever has been given, that is okay. Okay, that is absolutely fine. But apart from that also, there are certain other points we have to keep in mind while we want to see whether a valid offer was made or not. Okay, the first one is what? See, the first one is manner of communication. Okay, this means that how can a proposal be made? Okay, a proposal, how? Proposal कैसे किया जा सकता है? How can one make a proposal? So the first one is very easy. First one is expressly. Okay, when I make an offer expressly, a proposal is made expressly. See, I have written this thing here. A proposal may be made expressly or impliedly. This has been given in Section 9 Indian Contract Act. Why have I written this thing here? First, you need to understand this point. Let's see, Section 9 talks about how promises are made. If you'll read your BERAC students, if you have the BERACs in front of you, it basically states that, see, a promise can be made expressly or impliedly, right? A promise में होता क्या क्या है? What are the things there in a promise? Tell me. What are the things there are there in a promise? बताओ, promise में what are the two ingredients? Correct, right? There's an offer and there's an acceptance. So remember that a proposal. Do you understand how I got this term proposal here? Everybody has understood, right? A proposal can be made expressly or impliedly. Okay, very well. Everybody very clear है ना? Glacier clear हो गया, glacier clear हो गया ना? वैसे मैं crystal बोलता हूँ, but glacier is also good term, I would say. Okay, I don't know how clear the glacier is, never seen it though. Okay, so see, first thing is that a proposal may be made expressly. What do we mean by expressly? By words. Okay, by words. I will either write it down that, sir, I want to propose you. Okay, this is something which we did in class 8th, 9th. We used to write letters to girls in the next school. Okay, we used to write them letters. I really like you, please be my friend. Okay, second thing is you go and approach her. Okay, which is oral. Okay, so what can how can we make a proposal? It could be either in writing or orally. I can go tell her that I like you, or second situation is I can write it down. लिखे जो खत मैंने पहले प्यार के. ठीक है? Understood? First is expressly. Okay, it should be made expressly. What is expressly? By words. Okay, which could be either written or orally. Okay, and the second thing is implied. Communication could be made impliedly as well. Now, what do we mean by impliedly? By conduct, right? Like, I don't know how many of you are, I think most of you must be Gen Z people. So there is this whole thing called doing this uwu thing, right? Right? Uwu. I mean, I don't know, sarangi or whatever. So what is this? This is something which is a gesture of love, right? So through my conduct, I am making my proposal to the other person. Okay, it could be uwu, or like in old times, मैं अपनी नस काट दूंगा. Okay, I'll slit my wrist if you don't say yes to me or whatever. Okay, so these are the two situations by the conduct of the parties. Okay, conduct of the parties. The other person is saying that, see, we want to make a proposal, which is a very triggering thing. Never do it. Giving rose, she's such a nice person. Yeah, that is again implied. So understood. A proposal could be made expressly or impliedly. Understood? What is expressly? By words. By words. And what is impliedly? By conduct of the party. It could be anything. Okay, gestures, palatna, etc., etc., so on and so forth. Right. Lastly, okay. First point everybody has understood, right? Second thing is, I hope this is not like, it's okay, right? If I teach you like this, I can teach you seriously also. It's not an issue for me. I mean, if anybody has any issues with my thing, please. Coercion, no free consent. ये बच्चे बड़े तेज हैं यार. सबको free consent, everybody has understood. Coercion is there. Okay. Tried and all. Okay. चलो ठीक है. Second thing is that the term should be ascertainable in nature. Okay. This means that the terms of the proposal and the person to whom it is made should be ascertainable in nature. Okay, that is determined. We can understand these points. Okay, that whatever proposal I have made, this should be determinable in nature. This is something which you have to understand in today's society also. If you go ask somebody out, they'll tell you, I can be your, what do? You'll tell the other person expressly, right? That I want to be your friend or your boyfriend, right? I love you. Or अब ये थोड़ा ना बोलो I love you also but as a friend. अब ये क्या हुआ? What is this? This is something which is unascertainable in nature, right? You'll get confused. Oh my god. हाँ वैसा I understand as a friend only. अभी तो we are friends also. But back in the day I would say, okay, which was very confusing for the other person. Okay, it could be anything, right? As a friend also. But see, it should be ascertainable in nature. The guy should tell the girl, see, I want to be your friend. First thing is, I want to be your friend. Or he should say that I should be your boyfriend. So what is this? This is something which has been ascertainable in nature. We have determined, okay, we have determined what the contract is all about or what the proposal is all about in our case. Okay, so the term should be understandable. Okay, it should be ascertained in nature. Okay, फूल हो गुलाब का चमेली का मत समझना बोलते हैं ना, सुना है किसने कहावत? आशिक को तुम्हारा सहेली का मत समझना. ठीक है, so you have to tell the person also that I love you, not your friend. Okay, so the person to whom you made the offer, that person should be ascertained. And sir, आज क्या हो गया? मतलब I thought I should teach you in my way. I thought, like, I do not teach seriously, and I hate doing that. But then once more, what? The person should be ascertained. ओके, पर्सन, फूल हो गुलाब का चमेली का मत समझना, आशिक को तुम्हारा सहेली का मत समझना बोलता है. ठीक है, सो द पर्सन शुड बी असर्टेन्ड, राइट? एंड सेकंड इज दैट द टर्म्स should be ascertained in nature. The person to whom the offer has been made should be ascertainable in nature and the terms should be ascertained in nature. Everybody has understood? Those who do not understand Hindi, are you understanding the examples? Because whatever I'm saying in Hindi, it doesn't matter. Okay, if you want I can repeat it in English also, but doesn't, like, again, it won't really make any sense. Okay, I do not know what you call chameli in English also. So anyway, everybody has understood? People, raise your hand if anybody has any questions. If you have understood everything, please give me a thumbs up. If anybody wants me to go slow, fast, not understanding anything. Okay. रुचिराग, आप अपना क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे डाल दो. If you have a question, type it in the chat box. Okay, if it is relevant, I'll certainly answer it right now. Okay, whoever has questions, please type in the chat box. Okay, now the last thing, the last point which you have to keep in mind is, let's see, once an offer has been rejected, okay, once the proposal has been rejected, it has come to an end. Any fresh proposal regarding the same is considered to be a counter offer from that party. Okay, this point you have to remember. The proposal once rejected comes to an end. Any fresh proposal regarding the same is considered to be a counter offer from the other party. Yes, Tushar. This is so any ambiguous or incomplete term makes the offer void. Yes, section 29 actually. Okay. So this is something we'll discuss later on. Okay, don't worry. अभी बस जो पढ़ा रहा हूँ उस पर ध्यान दो, बिल्कुल ऐसे मंत्र मुग्ध हो जाओ. ऐसा सोचो बस ओशो बैठा है तुम्हारे आगे. Okay, think as if Osho is there. Okay, understand this point. See, ascertainable is single person or group of people. Yes, but they are ascertained in nature, right? You have to tell who all you have made an offer. Okay. Ruchiranga, you have a question? Please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. This is me, Ruchiranga Sharma.
Yes, please.
Sir, I just want to ask that I just enrolled with your course last Saturday. This is my first class. I just joined now.
It's okay.
So I
recording sessions you want, you'll get them in the LMS portal. Don't worry. This is our third class only, so it's not such a big issue also.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry. Now, lastly, this was the only doubt I could have entertained. Second thing, Shashwat is asking, sir, general offer once again. General offer, I will tell you later on, Shashwat. Don't worry. Okay, अभी समझ में नहीं आया तो फिर बताऊंगा डिटेल में. ये तो बस एक एग्जांपल था. Okay, don't worry. General offer is basically made to public at large. Okay, anybody to make at large. It is given in the act, Rubayaka. Okay. Now, anybody has questions, please type in the chat box. I will continue with the class. Okay. Last point, देखो यहाँ पे क्या हुआ? The proposal once has been rejected, it comes to an end. This means that the proposal should be accepted as it is. Simple terms, if you want to understand this thing, just understand that movie. That song is there, right? ठुकरा के मेरा प्यार मेरा इंतकाम देखिए and all that, whatever. See, what happens is, let's say Shashwat is in college, he likes somebody. Shashwat, who's your crush? But let's just call them crush. Shashwat goes to her, tells her, see, I really like you. Would you like to be my friend? What happens is, crush tells no. So what has happened here? It has come to an end. The proposal has come to an end. After your college only, after your college only, let's say you are in your 10th semester, and when you did this particular act, and you were appearing for Rajasthan. Okay, and during your college only, you cleared your RJS. Okay, so what happened was, this woman refused to you on 10th. Okay, and you cleared your RJS exam also on 10th. So what has happened here? Now the woman obviously realizes this person has become a catch. Okay, so she says, yes, I want to be your friend. Now what happened here? Shashwat, what do you think? What does everybody think? Here, even though the offer is the same, right? That I want to be your friend, right? The offer is still the same. Okay, the offer is still the same, but it is not an acceptance. Okay, even though, see, इसने भी उसी चीज पे agree करा. Okay, the crush has agreed to the very thing. Okay, she has agreed to the very terms of the offer. But what happened was, here the original offer came to an end. Okay, and now this thing which she has accepted, or you can say, yes, I would like to be your friend, this in turn has become a new offer, or as we can call it, counter offer. Okay, what is 10th? 10th तारीख जिस दिन इसका पेपर क्लियर हुआ. 10th was the date on which Shashwat cleared his exam. Noori, not relevant here. I mean, just for the reference. Okay, now in Hyde versus Wrench, what happened was that I do not see. Hyde versus Wrench, what happened was, there's this person Hyde, he offered Wrench. Let's call them X and Y only. Okay, because I do not know who the plaintiff defendant here exactly, because they never tell you. X and Y was there. Okay, X made a proposal that, see, I want to sell you a particular commodity for 100,000 rupees. Okay, 1,000 rupees. Y said that, no, I'm not going to accept this commodity for 1,000 rupees, but in turn, I will accept it for 950. What happened here now? The original offer has come to an end, right? Y later on realized that, yeah, 950 mein to this person is not agreeing. So he says, okay, fine, 1,000 rupees only I will pay. Okay, but what happened here is that this offer, though looks identical, right? It looks identical, but this is not acceptance here. Okay, this communication here is not acceptance, but What is it? It is not an acceptance, but it is an offer. Everybody has understood this point? Once a proposal has been rejected, it comes to an end. Any fresh proposal regarding the same is considered to be a counter offer from the other party, or you can also say a fresh proposal. Okay, or you can also call it a fresh proposal for that matter. See, this is actually a counter offer. Okay, this is also a counter offer only technically, but this now, if you'll see in the light of in the context of the same, it looks like a fresh proposal also. Everybody has understood? भाई साहब क्लास तो बहुत जल्दी खत्म हो गई है.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
ठीक है, चलो. So I guess this PPT works with you all, right? Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
है ना? ठीक है. Everybody has understood everything. There are no questions, right? PPT works for everyone. अब एक डाउट उस बच्ची का एग्जांपल लेता हूँ. विदुषी था, विभूति नाम है ना आपका, उसने हाथ खड़ा करा था. पूछ लो एक बार क्या था सवाल, या हो गया वो, उसका डाउट क्लियर हो गया? विभूति नाम है ना बच्ची का, विभूति है. हाँ, हो गया. क्या था डाउट तुम्हारा?
सर वो डाउट तो मैं आपको याद दिला रही थी, आपने कल कहा था ना, आप बताओगे वो ऑस्टिन ने बोला था या?
हाँ, वो मुझे माफ करना बच्चों, मैं तहे दिल से माफी मांगता हूँ. एंसन ने बोला था. वैसे मैं कसम से बोलूं, आई वुड हैव सेड दिस इन माय स्लीप आल्सो, एंसन, इफ समबडी वुड हैव हिट मी. बट दैट डे वाज प्रॉब्ली माय एग्जाम. Okay, I had my Uttarakhand exam, and the entire day I was like Austin, Austin, Austin. So maybe that was the only issue, but it is Anson. And I swear to God, I would have never made this mistake on any regular day.
Sir, it's okay.
It was a very bad day. ठीक है,
ऐसा
नहीं
कोई
माफी मांगना
चीज
पड़ेगा.
नहीं हो गई,
कल
it's
चढ़ गए
okay.
बच्चे सबके सब मेरे ऊपर. अरे कैसे ऑस्टिन कैसे बोल दिया इस आदमी ने, मुझे बताओ सबसे पहले तो.
ठीक है सर, बस
ठीक
वही
है?
याद दिलाना था.
हाँ,
थैंक यू.
हाँ, मैं बता देता. थोड़ा मुझे शर्म भी आ रही थी, पर मैं कहा चलो बता ही देते हैं. एंसन याद रखना बच्चों, ठीक है?
Okay, sir.
Definition has been given by Anson. Okay, all the definitions, basic definitions, have been given by Anson. Sir, under which term ascertainable is of terms is mentioned? Unable to locate it. I will teach you later on, but it is in 29, 28, 29. Sir, when she rejected the offer and after some time she came back again, then it make a new, yes, it makes a new offer. Simran. Okay. Ashish ने क्या सवाल? XY brought tomato at rupees 30, but while carrying out, he is calling to sell at rupees 25. Then XY returns and says to the seller, why did you do this to me? Give me 22 at. नहीं, ये तो अलग बात हो गई. ये तो उसकी मर्जी है भैया. तुमने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया, वो तो बहुत ही, he has already accepted it. Please elaborate. Consider missed due to next location. I don't know what was the second point. Okay, so students, I'll take one more thing. Does counterclaim of counts as a new offer? Yes, it does, Sana. It does. Counterclaim means counter offer actually. Counterclaim is something which you study in CPC. Okay. No. You want to study further? We'll start with invitation. Or should we just dictate the doubts once again and then we'll complete the session and we'll start with the new session tomorrow, because some students are not there and I would not want them to miss also. Sir, intention. Let's do a thing then. Let's bring the lecture to an end. I believe everybody has understood everything. It would be a bit unfair. Yes, sir, right? It would be a bit unfair for them, I would say. अब doubts ले लेते हैं. Okay, today we'll just consider doubts. Sana, I believe I've answered your doubt. Any other doubt you have? Can you please explain hide versus wrench? I just did. Amog. समझ नहीं आया या फिर से वही चीज बताऊं? क्या हुआ? Hide and wrench. Hide wanted to sell something. Okay. Probably a horse, maybe, but okay. There was this person X who wanted to sell something, so he said, I will be selling you my horse for 1,000 rupees. Okay, rupees 1,000. Okay, rupees 1,000. And in turn, this person refused and he said that I will be taking this horse for 950 rupees. So see, what here is 1,000 rupees is an original offer. Y came up with a different offer of 950 rupees. So here the original offer came to an end. And now you come up with a different offer, which is of 950 rupees. This person has obviously rejected this offer also. So why what he does is he says, okay, fine, I'll buy the house for rupees 1000. This is not acceptance, but this is a fresh offer. Okay, Amog, have you understood? Because the original offer came to an end. Okay. Sorry, slides. I will give you the slides. Don't worry, sir. Then we can leave. Yes, yes. Farm, sir. Hiba Shahid. Okay, farm. He was selling his farm maybe then. Okay. But you do not have to write the facts of the case, to be honest. Okay. Which is why I do not delve into it too much. बस लॉ याद रखना, भगवान की कृपा से वहां याद आ जाए तुम्हें, वहां पे इतना बहुत है. ठीक है. Second thing. अरे don't do this. Shashwat has a question. Yes, you can leave. Those who do not have any questions can leave. If you do not have any other thing to do, like if you have something very important, then you should leave. If not, then obviously you'll learn something from the doubts asked by your fellow students, right? Yes, Shashwat.
Sir, I have a doubt from yesterday's class. So yesterday you made us, you wrote the difference between void agreement and void contract, and one of the points in that was that a void agreement is not enforceable and a void contract is initially valid, but it then becomes void.
Yes.
But it would be a voidable contract, right? When the contract which is initially valid but it becomes void is voidable, or is it a void?
No. See what happens in voidable. There is a situation, voidable, there's a situation that it will either become a void agreement.
Okay.
Void agreement. Right? Do you understand the concept? कि बिल्कुल ab initio से खत्म हो जाएगा ये. There is no right to restitution or so on and so forth. Right? Or it could be a valid contract. Or it could be a valid contract. Okay. समझ में आ रहा है क्या हुआ? It could either be a void agreement or a valid contract. However, in cases of void contracts, it is an absolutely valid contract. There is no such issue. Okay, it fulfills all the ingredients. It can never be a void agreement in case of a void contract. It would be declared to be a void contract later on. Okay, मतलब contract होगा initially बढ़िया करके, later on it would be declared to be a void contract. Okay.
Okay, so
right, and restitution ka right is there per se. So there's a difference, right? If you'll understand this thing later on how it happens. Okay, don't worry. We will learn that later.
Yes, sure.
Second is Noori.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Noori.
Sir, please tell me this line again. So, an independent act per se does not constitute, sir. Then I did not write. It is
It's
the
okay.
point number 2 signifies his willingness. Sir,
Yes,
in
yes.
the last.
I will show you the
point
slide.
number-
I will show you
Yes,
the
sir.
slide.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
don't worry.
Yes, sir.
You just want to see the slide. You understood the concept, right?
Yes, sir.
Concept तो
Yes,
समझ में
sir.
आ गया ना? बस ठीक है.
हाँ, concept समझ में
स्लाइड
आ गया।
तुम चिंता मत करो, स्लाइड तुम्हें मिल जाएगी. कॉन्सेप्ट समझो, यहाँ मजे यहाँ लो, डॉक्यूमेंट्स तुम्हें बाद में मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है.
Okay, sir.
This should be something which should be fun and frolic for everyone. Now, can we write intention to create legal relations with each other as an नहीं तुषार, it is an essential for that a valid agreement. Okay. Animus contrahendi relates to valid agreements. Sir, you said person should also be ascertainable in the second point. What about a general offer?
Thank you so much, sir.
Ah.
So I'll take a leave now.
Okay, sure. Sir, you said person should also be ascertainable. See, what happens is, I'll tell you this thing later on, Pragya. What happens actually is, an offer can be made. Okay. Offer can be made to an uncertain person, but it has to be accepted by someone who's ascertainable in nature. This is something we'll understand later on. Okay. General offer के cases में you can make it to a public at large. Okay. But generally, when it comes to a specific person, if I'm pointing at you, then it means that I'm offering it to you. I will not point at you and tell, "Arey, गीता मेरा ऑफर एक्सेप्ट कर लो. Okay, that doesn't make sense. You understand? Like you are there, Pragya, for example, you are standing there. I point at you and I ask some other person, random person. So it becomes a bit confusing. You understand how it matters?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Otherwise, do not worry. It's not like that confusing. समझ में आ गया ना कैसे ascertainable होना चाहिए. अब public at large जब होता है ना तो वो जब accept करते तो it becomes ascertainable, right? But if I'm pointing at you, looking at Geeta, then anybody could accept. Now I don't know whom I'm making the offer, right? मतलब ऐसे किसको मैं accept करवाना चाह रहा हूँ. But general offers में there's a situation where it is for everybody at large. You understand how it is different?
Yes, so that's an exception. then.
You have to look into the terms of the contract also, actually. Right?
Okay.
This is the invitation to offer. No. This is not an invitation to offer. Invitation to an offer we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay. Now all has any other questions? Sir, intention to create log added as requisite by precedent switch case in India. I'll tell you later on, don't worry. जो आगे की चीज है ना वो आगे पे छोड़ दो, है ना. बताऊंगा मैं सब, तुम्हें चिंता मत करो. पैसा दिया तुमने मुझे, पेट पाल दो तुम लोग मेरा, ना. कल परसों मेरी शादी होगी तो तुम्हारे पैसों से होगी. सो डोंट वरी. ओके, द मोर यू लर्न द मोर आई अर्न. ओके, बस क्लियर योर एग्जाम्स प्लीज फॉर माय सेक. Please, can anyone tell me what the second point was? Okay, I believe your question has been answered, Surbi. Anybody else has any other question? Wait 1 second. Okay. In Lalman Shukla judgment, claim of servant was dismissed. Mean to say that there can't. Yes. This is the whole point. Okay. Without knowledge of the offer, you cannot accept. But this is something I was going to discuss later on. पर चलो, तुम भी अच्छे बच्चे हो. How was your Uttarakhand? Yeah. Don't ask personal questions, people. Okay. Don't ask questions I do not want to answer. Sir, when will we get this PPT? I'll upload it today, but you'll get it by tomorrow. Okay. My exam was okay, decent. But like first time in my life, it was a bit dicey for me. Otherwise, I usually clear it with good flying colors or whatever you might call it. This time it was like, I knew some questions, but मैं अपने दिल की नहीं सुन पाया वहाँ पे. Generally, I listen to my heart and I take the first one if I'm confused and I get it correct. This time I was like, oh, I don't know what to do. So because of that, I missed out on a few of them. And it was a good paper. I mean, some of them were very easy. Anybody could have answered, but some of them were very difficult also. So that was one issue. But let's see, I'm in the gray area. Just don't check my marks, okay? Later on, अरे सर का कैसा हुआ टाइप का. That's very offensive. People did it to Mahinder. It's a biggest nightmare. मतलब we are scared of appearing for exams because of this situation. कि बच्चे देखेंगे करके. पहले तो कौन ही डरता था, है ना? So anybody else has any questions? Sir, later on, kindly share the judicial. Later on, we'll see. Don't worry. You will have a special session on that. Okay, sir. Referring to Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt, A is aware of the offer. He is not actually a offer and find the child. Later on, if he does find the child, then obviously he has accepted it. Okay. If he knew about the offer, if the servant knew about the offer, then in that case, it would have been an absolutely valid contract or offer in our case. Okay. If he knew about the offer, then it could have been a valid proposal and acceptance in that case. Okay. Yes. Any other questions? Everybody has understood everything. There are no issues as such. Yes, Dipankar has a question. Yes, Dipankar, please ask.
Sir, you give the example of Fair and Lovely
Yes.
ad. कि वो uncertain होगा कि ये यूज करोगे और ऐसा होगा.
गोरे हो जाओगे आप. हाँ.
तो उसमें एक्सेप्टेंस सर कैसे होगा कि
जो लगाएगा अपने मुंह में फिर आएगा वो शाहरुख खान की तरह, है ना?
उसमें तो कंडीशंस
परफॉर्मेंस कर दोगे ना आप, तो वही कंडक्ट के थ्रू ही हैज अप्लाइड इट, like by using it, let's say, or by buying it only. Okay, he has accepted the offer. You understand? Like there could be a situation actually, Dipankar, here. Your question is like in the sense that if it is made to public at large, okay, and it is just like you have accepted it, well and good, okay, खरीद के आपने ले लिया, है ना, वो बेच रहे हैं आपको, आपने खरीद लिया, well and good. That very moment तो उसी टाइम पे ऑफर एक्सेप्टेंस कंप्लीट हो जाता है. But if there is a condition also कि अरे गोरे नहीं होगे तो पैसे वापस टाइप का, so in that case you have to apply it on your face, and if you're not fair, which is like really doesn't really matter, but do you understand, like if you're not fair, then you are fulfilling the conditions and you can probably ask for compensation. We'll be discussing this later on. Carlyle versus Carbolic smoke ball का case है इसमें, है ना, तो वो अलग चीज है. Okay, but do you understand how it happened? It is to public at large, जिसका भी मन करे खरीदो वाला.
Okay, but like if they are saying कि if you will not get the result, then you can.
That is a different situation.
That is a
different situation. Okay, that is only when you're performing the situations is the acceptance complete type का.
Okay, all right.
It depends actually what the contract is all about, right? Or what the offer is all about. If the offer is to buy and use it, then it's okay. है ना, दवाई ठीक हो जाएगी. But there is no such situation कि ठीक नहीं हुआ. See, मैंने बोला दवाई खाओगे तो ठीक हो जाओगे. Okay, so the moment you're having that medicine, you have fulfilled the conditions. Do you understand? If you are not getting the results, you can ask for compensation. But if it is a general Vicks की गोली है, आप क्या Vicks की गोली के लिए क्या करोगे वाली बात है ना. Eclairs है, Eclairs में क्या कंडीशन होगी, राइट? टॉफी खाने के लिए क्या कंडीशन होगी, राइट? तो तुमने टॉफी खरीदी तो खरीद ली, है ना.
लाइक अगर फैमिली लगाई, हम गोरे नहीं हुए
और वो कह रहे तुम गोरे हो गए तो पैसे देंगे, नहीं होगे तो शायद कपूर तुम्हारे घर आके तुम्हारे साथ फोटो खिंचाएगा, whatever. So that could be a different situation. So then that condition has to be fulfilled, and in that case, if Shahid Kapoor doesn't come to your place, you will ask for compensation.
Right, got it. But mean to say कि उन्होंने सिर्फ इतना बोला कि लगाओगे गोरे हो जाओगे, हम नहीं हुए तो उसके अगेंस्ट हम नहीं जा सकते.
Compensation मांग सकते हो कि ब्रीच हो गई कंडीशन, मतलब ना वैसे कि झूठ बोल रहा था ये, मैं तो गोरा हुआ ही नहीं. You have accepted it the moment you've used it. You understand? है ना. अब बात ये है शैम्पू लगाओ बस. शैम्पू नॉर्मल है, कोई क्लेम ही नहीं है उसका डैंड्रफ जाएगा नहीं जाएगा क्या होगा. So you're buying a shampoo that becomes a general offer and accepted the moment you buy it. Okay, before finding the nephew, if he gets to know about the offer in the midway, then also Tushar, it would be a valid acceptance. Okay,
thank you sir.
और ये तुषार नहीं बोला ना थैंक यू,
Dipankar.
Okay, Dipankar, thank you. Tushar, have you understood now? And Ruchirangad, such a beautiful name you have. Only person's name I can say whose name is better than mine, matlab na. Ruchirangad, I've never heard this name before. What is your question, Ruchirangad? Please ask. या नहीं ऐसे ही हाथ खड़ा कर दिया. Do you have a question? I do not know how to unmute you. Ask to unmute. If you have a question, please ask. If गलती से उठा हुआ तो बैठा दो, है ना. Okay, anybody else has any question? There are 40 students here. यशस्वी तो अपने, अभिषेक, अदीबा, अदिति, हरिशंकर, अंकित, भीनी, दीपांकर, दिव्या, anybody, दिव्या किशन, Galaxy, Akshay, Lokesh, Mega, anybody else has any questions? Sarveshwari Mohanty, Shruti Singh. Okay. Okay, so we should bring the session to
I
an
have
end
no
then?
question at all.
Yes, no questions at all. Great then. So I believe it was a decently informative session for everyone. We'll bring it to an end then, and we'll start with invitation to an offer from tomorrow. Okay, invitation to an offer, and the second thing which we will be discussing is types of offers. Okay, so thank you everyone for being such a gentleman crowd. Okay.